Hey, how's it going? So I'm going to be going over multiples and finding your least common multiple. So what are multiples? So a multiple is just the result of multiplying a number by an integer. So for example, let's say I had the number 7, right? Let's say I wanted to find the first 5 multiples of 7 starting at 0. So 7 times 0 equals 0. 7 times 1 equals 7. 7 times 2 equals 14. 7 times 3 equals 21. 7 times 4 equals 28. So these are the first 5 multiples of 7 starting at 0, right? So that's all a multiple result of a multiplication problem involving whole numbers or integers. So let's go over, so a whole number, so yes, 0 is a whole number. 0 is not a positive number, and it's not a counting number, but it is a whole number. Alright. And whole numbers are just the numbers. So for example, whole numbers, right? So 0, 1. So these are all whole numbers right here. They're numbers that don't include fractions or decimals. Alright. And now what is an integer? So an integer is the same as this. They're the same as whole numbers, but they also include negatives. So 1. So integers are whole numbers, but they also include negatives. Alright. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go on to the least common multiple. So what is the least common multiple? The least common multiple is the smallest of common multiples between two or more numbers. The smallest number that two or more numbers can go into with no remainders. So, alright, so for example, let's say I had 7 and 2, right? To find the least common multiple, right? So, the easiest way, if you have two simple numbers, you could just use the list method, meaning you list the multiples out. So first I'm going to do the bigger number first. So 7 and 2, right? So just list the multiples out, starting with the first positive multiple, first positive whole number. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there at 14 because I know 7 times 2 is 14, and both these numbers go into 14. So I know my least common multiple will either be 14 or it'll be less than 14. That's why I did the bigger number first. Alright, let's go on to 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. So looking, what's the least common multiple? What's the smallest number that these two have in common? So that 14 in common, and then 14, right? So that's my least common multiple. Alright. And 7 times 2 is 14. 2 times 7 is 14. So, alright, that's an easy way to find least common multiple. But let's say you had harder numbers to work with, or more than 2 numbers to work with. If you have that, then the best case is to use the prime factorization. So right here, I have the steps for it. So, for example, let's say you had 9, 12, and 28. Let's say you had to find the least common multiple, right? The list method might be, for this is going to take a while. So the best thing to do is prime factorization. I'll show you that right now. So first 9. So I'm just going to factor these out till they only have their prime factors. So how do you get to 9? 3 times 3, right? So 3 times 3 gets me 9, and 3 are both prime. So I'm good here. How do I get to 12? So 6 times 2, 2 is prime. Get to 6, 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 times 3 gets me 12, 28. 14 times 2 gets me 28. 2 is prime. In order to get to 14, that's 7 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 7. Alright. Now I go here to my directions for the prime factorization. So write numbers multiplied by themselves at exponents. So 3 times 3, I can just rewrite that as 3 squared. For 12, 2 times 2 times 3, so 2 times 2, just write that as 2 squared. Same thing here, 2 times 2, just rewrite that as 2 squared. Alright, so next, circle unique prime factors. So only number that appears once here is 7, so I'm going to circle that. Alright, next, write common factors. With common factors, circle one with the greatest power. So got 3 here and 3 here, 3 squared, so this is the greatest power. Alright, 2 squared and 2 squared. So since they both are the same, I just simply pick one to circle, doesn't matter, as long as I circle one. Alright, and now I just multiply all that I circled. So 7. So first, we go 3 times 3, that's 9. 2 times 2, that's 4. Times 7, so 9 times 4 is 36. 36 times 7, 30 times 7 is 210. 6 times 7 is 42, so my answer is 252. So this is my least common multiple. As you can see, if I did a list method trying to get this, it would take a very long amount of time. So prime factorization is the go-to method for if you're using 3 numbers or more, or if the numbers aren't going to be nice to work with. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.